Hey everyone, I'm Erica and today I'm going to show you how to make mango pudding with a mango, not this bruised one, but a nice unbruised one, and gelatin, some warm water, and a little bit of cinnamon. So really basic, you don't need the cinnamon. I put cinnamon in everything because it makes everything better. But if you want any cinnamon or any other additional things, either for flavor or for health benefits, sometimes I'll put turmeric in, all sorts of things. This is a great one, especially for color, because it's already such a turmeric colored thing anyways. So we're going to start with the gelatin to get it nice and thickened up. So we're going to take about half a tablespoon, a teaspoon to half a tablespoon, and you can be pretty generous with it and really play around with it. I'm going to go just half a tablespoon. I tend to be a bit too generous with it, if you know what I mean. And then it gets really thick, which is fine, but sometimes you don't want it quite so thick. This is some warm water. I just warmed it up from letting the hot water tap run. You can heat it up on the stove, or just as long as it's warm enough to dissolve the gelatin. So I'm just going to put in a couple of tablespoons worth. This is another thing where you just wing it. And really you just need enough to dissolve, to mix everything around. And you want to be nice and quick with mixing it, because otherwise it will really start to clump up. And we're just going to let that sit for a little bit. You can already see that it's clumping up on the fork there. So that's perfect. It's good to leave it for 2 or 3 minutes. I've already cut up my mango, and it's sitting in chunks in here. This is such a super juicy, very ripe mango, so it was very ready to be cut up. So I'm gonna put my cinnamon in. It's another thing that most things that I do in the kitchen I wing. Trial and error. Usually it works out, sometimes not so much. It's about a teaspoon, a little less than a teaspoon of cinnamon in there. You can put anything else in there. Don't bother putting any sweetener in it, because really the mango is sweet enough. And the riper, of course, the riper it is, the sweeter it is. So I have this magic bullet to do my blending, which is very loud, so I'm just going to hold it over here so it's not as loud. Hold on. So that's mostly blended, nice and quick. And you can see the color from the cinnamon. If you don't put any cinnamon in, it's such an amazing, incredible, beautiful orange color. But the taste of the cinnamon is worth the change in color. So just giving another stir, and when you're looking at your gelatin, you can see that it's getting gloppy, and it starts almost immediately. So not worrying too much about length of time. And also you're going to be putting this in the fridge for an hour at least. So it'll have time to do its gelling and setting then. So we're going to add the gelatin and water mixture and get as much as we can out of here. It likes to stick to the container that it's in. So I often use whatever bowl that I use to mix the gelatin. I put my either mango pudding, or when I do a chocolate coconut milk pudding, that's my favorite one. That video is coming soon. I'll put that into the same bowl that I mix the gelatin in. Any other jello that I make. I like to use a lot of medicinal herbs for tea, and I'll make jello out of that. So I can eat my tea as jello instead of just drinking it. And kombucha is another great one to make into jello. Okay, so now we're going to put it back on this noisy thing. Not for too long. So really quick, not much time needed to mix it up. And that's it, you're done. So now you can put it into bowls, containers. I'm going to put some in this little jar that I can put a lid on, so when I pick up Natasha from school in a few hours, I'll take this and she will be happy to have this nice, cool, smooth, creamy, sweet snack. And I'll be happy because there's a big chunk of protein in there. with the gelatin, not just the sugars of the fruit. And it's just a little bit more substantial, a little bit more filling and satiating as a snack or dessert. And the gelatin is really good for your immunity. It's great for healing your gut, good for inflammation, good for so many things. And this is a Great Lakes brand, grass-fed gelatin. And that's it. So now it goes into the fridge, sets for an hour to 2 hours, and then it's all puddingy and nice and solid and a nice, cool, smooth treat. That easy. Enjoy.